Happy wedding, Jake and Darcy.
God damn!
Woo! We're tired because we went to your wedding last night.
Yes. Yes, we're very tired. Two pregnant ladies staying up late to celebrate your love.
Yeah. It was so much fun, though.
It was a lot of fun.
It was really pretty.
I genuinely have a blast at weddings with or without alcohol.
Me
now,
too.
granted, with alcohol is a lot better.
With alcohol, I'll get out there and dance a lot more.
Yeah. My thighs will hurt the next day.
Yeah, from getting low. But without alcohol, I will still dance a little.
Yeah, exactly. It was so fun and so pretty. But so fucking cold.
It was real cold.
So goddamn cold.
I was shivering so bad my taco almost fell out of my hand.
Hey-o, which taco?
Well, I wasn't holding my vagina taco. That's
Okay, there we go. But I've never been so fucking cold in my life.
Yeah, it was real cold. I mean, I've probably been cold before,
yeah.
but also I was probably dressed more appropriately.
Or when you're drunk, you don't notice.
Yeah, that too.
Also, I'm pretty sure it was like 65.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even that cold. So everybody else who lives in fucking actual weather is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was still in Southern California.
Yeah, we weren't really in the Arctic.
No, but the wind chill really brought it down.
Yeah. Oh my God, how old are we? The wind chill. Actually, that brings me to my goddamn.
Oh, well, lay it on me.
So we're at that wedding, and it was so much fun, and it was so cold, and I woke up in the morning, and I have a sore throat now.
Oh, you bitch.
But I don't know if my sore throat is from cheering and yelling and singing.
Yeah.
Or if it's because it was so cold.
Oh. Do you get sore throats from it being cold? Or you might have gotten sick from that?
Like, I think, well, yeah, you can't. I get sore throats.
Just irritated?
So irritated. I get sore throats when it's cold out. Like, if I sleep with a fan blowing on me or something, it dries my face out.
Oh.
I get a sore throat. I get sore throat so easily, though, because I got some jacked up tonsils back there.
Oh.
But I'm also have been around a lot of sick people, so it could just be that I was getting sick anyway.
And
then,
now is your time.
Yeah, then the cold wind made my throat sore or screaming. I don't know. I don't really know if I'm sick or not, but my throat is kind of sore.
Well, try not to make out with me.
I will try really hard.
I know it's tempting.
It is so tempting. It always has been. All right, give me your goddamn.
Well, my goddamn is I can't have caffeine anymore, right? So I'm trying to think of other things to drink all the time.
I'm telling you, matcha green tea.
I don't like tea.
It has caffeine.
But I don't like tea.
But it's worth it.
I'm
telling you, I don't
tea.
I don't either. The first time I got it, I didn't know what I was getting. I just thought, okay, green tea is like a safe caffeine thing to have for a pregnant lady, and I really needed caffeine this day. And this is after I was 7 months pregnant already, so I don't know what the fuck was going on in my life, but I just went down to a little cafe and ordered it. And the first sip, I was like, this shit is gross.
Yeah, I don't want that.
But then I drank it, and then I felt so good after that I was like, it's like coffee. Like the first time you drink coffee, it's gross. And then you feel great, and all of a sudden it tastes good to you.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for something to get addicted to or whatever. I'm just looking for something to sip on. I have to change my everyday routine because it was an energy drink, which I like the taste of, or coffee, which I like the taste of.
But you like the taste of it because you're addicted to it.
Yeah, but I also like the taste of it.
Yeah, but you didn't like the taste. Well, I don't know about.
Yeah, but I'll never like green tea. I don't like tea.
It's
fucking gross.
You gotta just drink one whole one time.
I just don't like tea. Anyway, along with my goddamn story. So I got a Snapple, right? And those bitches make them in fucking plastic bottles now instead of glass bottles, which is, I guess, good. I don't know. I don't know. I would think it's worse for the environment because can't glass be recycled, but plastic can't? I don't know. But it's my one time in my life where I was like, I'm gonna fucking read a Snapple fact right now. And I got so excited to read a Snapple fact. And they didn't have it printed on the inside of the
What?
cat. Yeah, there was no Snapple fact.
That's the only reason people buy Snapples.
Fucking right? I was like, hell yeah, Snapple, I'm gonna try this shit. And then it was a plastic bottle, and I was like, that's weird. And then it was a plastic top, and it didn't have anything on the bottom of it. And I was really disappointed. I wanted to return my fucking Snapple.
Also, side note, isn't Snapple tea? God damn it.
No. Not if you get the fucking other ones.
Oh, I thought they were all tea. They were just flavored teas.
No. I have to Google
You don't
this.
sound so sure.
I don't think so, but I'm going to get to the bottom of this shit right now.
What else would it be? Juice?
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know. I just thought they were teas.
Well, I don't know. This is all just saying, is Snapple tea good for you?
Oh.
Snapple iced tea.
Oh.
No.
What kind do you get?
You can get peach tea or whatever. I get fucking
tea.
the mango. Yeah, I don't get that. I get the mango madness or whatever the fuck that one's called, or the fruit punch one, which is gross, by the way, but that's the one that I got
for the
this
record.
Yeah, it was.
So are those ones just juices?
I think so.
I don't really drink a lot of Snapple in my day, and if I did, I'd probably get peach tea because I like peach tea.
Yeah,
peach
you're
tea.
gross. Snapple mango madness. It's just mango madness. It doesn't say it's tea.
What are the ingredients?
Oh my god. Well, let me Google that. Ingredients.
While you're Googling, I will comment, though, on your goddamn... I would be fucking pissed, because that would be the only reason that I would choose a Snapple, is for the Snapple fun fact of the day.
Yeah. Literally, that I got, like, it was the one time that I remembered. Because normally when I drink a Snapple, which is not often, it's only when I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh yeah, Snapple exists.
I like Snapple.
Yeah. That has a lot of sugar and will get me through the day. And every time I don't remember the Snapple fact, and then someone else will be like, hey, what's the Snapple fact? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I forgot about that. And then I'll read it. And this time I was like, going into this with like, I'm going to read a goddamn Snapple fact. And I was so mad. P.S. The ingredients are filtered water, sugar, obviously.
The reason you drink it.
Juice concentrates, natural flavors, citric acid, mango puree, vegetable juice, and beta-carotene for color.
But no tea.
No, because it's not tea. Because I don't like tea.
Okay.
Get out of here with your fucking tea.
Why are you so mad about it?
Because I hate tea. Everybody's always tried to make me like tea. Like, all of my aunts and stuff, they're like, oh, have some tea. And I was like, I don't like tea. And they're like, it's brisk, baby. I don't care. I still don't want it. And then they would get mad that I don't like tea. So all of our English listeners or whatever are probably like, this bitch doesn't like tea.
Well, they also probably know that we have shit tea.
Shitty tea.
But bum.
That's probably true.
Or like any average American going to buy tea goes and buys like Nestle fucking, I don't even know, tea.
I don't know.
And it has no flavor. But I mean,
it tastes like dirt to me. One time I drank mushroom tea because...
Ew. That sounds bad.
It was really bad, but it was when my mom was sick and they were like, this will cures cancer. And I was like, I don't think that that's a thing.
Is it literally like steeped from a mushroom? Or is it just like a leaf that they call the mushroom?
No, it was like steeped from a mushroom. You had to go to like fucking Little Korea to get it. And
just the Little Korea.
In like a market where you're like, I think this is it.
Oh, like Little China?
Yeah, basically. And it came in like a bag and it was mushrooms. And my aunt made it because she's very holistic and organic and vegan.
Knows how to make all that stuff.
Apparently she can cure cancer. And I drank it in solidarity with my mother and... We were both like, wow, it tastes like dirt. And mushrooms.
Yeah. I don't know if I could get behind a mushroom tea.
Yeah. I mean, I chugged it with her to be like, yeah, no cancer.
Yeah, maybe it's working.
Yeah, I totally feel it.
This totally tastes like peaches.
It's doing something.
Yeah, I'm not a big tea fan. Like, I don't prefer it, but I can have a glass now and then, and I don't think it tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like bitter.
It tastes dry in my mouth. Like, why is it dry?
Oh, I could see that.
And earthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very earthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gross. And people are like, put honey in it. It's better. And I'm like, can I have all of the honey in it? Like, I just want to drink honey.
Okay, so lesson learned, though. Like, you need to not buy a plastic Snapple bottle.
Yeah, well, who knew, you know?
Yeah, what's
fucking
up with that?
Snapple, if you're listening,
get together. Also,
yeah, get it together.
Isn't Snapple known for, like, the popping cap?
Yeah.
The, like, click, click,
yeah,
click, click.
the, like, don't drink this if it's open because it's been tampered with.
Or you, like, smack the bottom of it till it goes pop.
Oh, I never did that.
Oh. Yeah, but so then those plastic ones must not have that.
No, it's just like a screw-on snap cap.
They're changing up their fucking marketing.
Plastic. Yeah, which I don't like. I don't agree with it.
We only drink your tea for your fun facts.
Yeah.
Well, not your tea. Sorry. Don't get mad at me. It was a slip-up.
Yeah. Jeez, get out of here.
You're looking at me like you want to kill me.
Stop making tea, Snapple, if you're listening. While you're at it. Everyone should stop making tea. Peach tea?
Yeah, peach tea. Because it tastes just like juice. There's like a little bit of tea in it.
Have you had the Mango Madness Snapple? Because it tastes like juice,
no.
and it's not tea.
No, but I don't like the things you like.
That's fair.
Like, you like those energy drinks that taste like a melted Slurpee, and I literally can only take like 2 sips, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into this show?
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
My story is another listener suggestion.
You're on it.
I'm on it, and it's Anna Stevens' suggestion, who a couple episodes ago gave her bestie a shout out on her birthday, and guess what?
It's today her birthday.
It's her fucking birthday today.
Happy birthday, Anna.
Get it, girl. So
You're the best. Around.
I didn't realize we were breaking into song.
When are we not?
That's true. But supposedly she's hungover in bed right now listening to our podcast. So we wanted to say,
should be.
Exactly. She's living her best fucking life.
Yeah, she is.
We wanted to say happy fucking birthday and let's talk about murder.
Yeah.
In honor of Anna.
It's beautiful. I love it. I hope you had a wonderful evening
Yes.
and that you're feeling it tonight. Hope you got so low your thighs hurt.
Okay, so this story that she suggested is the Santa Rosa Hitchhiker Murders.
Ooh.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give any background. I'm just going to jump into it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All
Just
right.
get right into it.
I feel like if I give the background, I'm going to give away the whole story. So
Okay.
there's these two girls. Their names are Maureen Sterling and Yvonne Weber.
Okay.
And they were both 12 years old who attended Herbert Slater Middle School in Santa Rosa, California.
Tell me these girls are not hitchhiking at 12 years old. I'm only guessing on account of you said it's the Santa Rosa Hitchhiker Murders.
I'd love to tell you that, but I can't.
This
because-
is irresponsible.
On February 4th, 1972, it was the 70s.
Yeah, I guess. But still, 12?
I know, isn't that crazy? At 7:30 p.m., they were dropped off by one of their mothers at Redwood Empire Ice Arena, which I'll have you know today, I did a lot of fucking research for this
Yeah.
story. I was deep. I was balls deep into everything. Like, I need to know what it's called today now. This ice arena today is called Snoopy's Home Ice.
Oh, but it's still an ice arena.
Yeah, it is. So if you live by there, some shit went down.
Apparently.
In your fucking hood.
And don't hitchhike if you go there.
Yes, please don't. So they get dropped off by their moms, and the plan was for them to go skating and be picked up at 11.
PM?
Yeah.
God damn.
Right? Crazy. Like, shit. That's
They're
a late-
12.
I know. But when the mom arrives to pick up the girls, they're nowhere to be found. So
Okay.
the mom calls the cops, and it's discovered that their friends had witnessed the two girls getting into a car off of Guerneville Road, which was about a block from the ice arena.
Ooh.
But they couldn't specify. Their friends couldn't clarify whether or not the girls had gotten into the car voluntarily or if they had been put in forcibly.
Okay.
And since hitchhiking was such like a common occurrence in Santa Rosa because they had no public transportation, the police quickly determined that the girls' disappearance was due to them running away and not like foul play or anything like being abducted.
That just sounds lazy.
Right? I mean, again, the 70s, so a different time to be alive. But
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, you saw them hitchhiking though? Okay, then they probably just ran away.
Then they probably just don't want to. Even if you saw them hitchhiking, like voluntarily getting into a car,
You
but
should
then they never came back.
You should still look into it. Yeah, exactly. But the cops never opened up a full investigation. All of the information I got was from like news articles that were printed back in the 70s
Yeah.
or whatever. It was like photocopies of these news articles.
Another note.
Yeah.
They're still 12. Even if they ran away, don't you still have to find them?
I know, right? Well, that's what I was getting at is like, I don't know. They never opened up like an investigation being like they've been abducted, but I don't know if they just put them on like a missing persons case and was like, hey, be on the lookout for these girls.
Yeah,
And that's all that ever happened.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not.
I feel like the police should still be involved in like a runaway. Like, hey, I mean, I know you're mad, but you still got to come home.
Yeah, you can't just run away. You're 12.
Yeah, or like we'll take a look at your home life and see why you wanted to run away.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like much went into finding these girls.
That's unfortunate.
And also, I'd like to note that the story is going to jump around a little bit because I put the events in chronological order.
Okay.
So these girls go missing. The next victim, we'll say, was Kim Allen, who was a 19-year-old girl who attended Santa Rosa Junior High School, and she had recently gotten a job at a supermarket in Laxbar, California, and it was like a natural food store.
Mm-hmm.
And she had lived off of Guerneville Road, where the other two girls were taken, so that made her job 40 miles away from her home.
Oh, goddamn.
Like, whoa, that's crazy. And it's just for, like, a food store.
Did she have a car?
Well, that's the thing, is she would frequently hitchhike to and from work because she didn't have a car,
Nope.
despite having multiple warnings from both her parents and her teacher about the dangers of hitchhiking.
Why don't her parents like, hey, why don't you get a job closer to home?
Yeah.
And I'll drive you.
So, her teacher, she, like, recounted a story about how Kim had tried to leave class early one day, and she said she had to leave because she had to hitchhike home, and she didn't have a ride, and her teacher called her back into the room and was like, yo, ask one of your classmates for a ride. You don't need to be hitchhiking. It's really dangerous. Because supposedly in the 2 years that the teacher had been working at this school, 2 of her students had been murdered while hitchhiking.
What?
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. So she's like, fucking don't.
Don't do that. I don't want you to get murdered. So that day, Kim got a ride from one of her fellow classmates, but it didn't do anything to deter her from hitchhiking in the future, obviously, since she got a job that was like 40 miles away from home.
Yeah.
So on March 4th, 1972, about 5 p.m., Kim left her job and she hitchhiked home to Santa Rosa, and she was last seen wearing a 3/4 length coat and an aluminum frame backpack. Wikipedia did state that she was also carrying a wooden soy barrel with Chinese characters on it.
How big is this barrel?
I don't know, like a soy barrel. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She worked at a health food store, though, so maybe it was like...
Like, oh, it's like soy sauce or something?
Yeah, maybe.
And it's just in a barrel?
Like, I need a lot of soy sauce.
Maybe it was like a small barrel.
Maybe. Anyway, when she went missing, her mom was like, you know, talking to the newspapers and stuff, and she was like, yeah, we always told Kim, don't go hitchhiking, it's really dangerous. And you used to be able to tell kids not to do something and they would listen, but you just can't anymore. You know what? Actually, I might be mixing that up with another one of the girls. But either way, it just goes to show the times, right? Like, the parents are like...
Yeah, I can't control her. But also, she's 19, so...
That's why I was thinking maybe this was another girl, because there's a younger girl that also is a victim.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, guys. Don't use this for a fucking report. So the following morning, March 5th, at about 2 p.m., 2 high school boys, both of them were 17, were out on a motorcycle ride, and they stopped to rest at a wide area of the road off of Enterprise Road, which is about 10 to 15 miles from Kim's home. Mm-hmm. And one of the boys walks over to the opposite side of the road that they stopped on and looks down the embankment and sees what he thinks is a mannequin in the creek bed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
So the boy calls the cops, and the cops arrive, and they find that it's not a mannequin. It's actually the nude body of an 18 to 24-year-old woman lying face down with little to no obvious signs of injury done to her body, other than she had some scratch marks indicating that she had rolled down the 20-foot embankment, right? And, like, got scratched up by the bushes.
Yeah.
The police theorized that the woman had been killed elsewhere, and she was driven to the location and then drugged from the car and then dumped over the embankment.
God damn.
Right? They also find that at the top of the embankment there was a scuff in the ground, which indicated that maybe the person who had murdered this woman or dumped her body had slipped while they were trying to toss her over the embankment or whatever.
Yeah.
And they landed either on their knee or leg or their elbow or arm. Because the kind of indent that they made in the soil, it looked like that, and that the perpetrator could possibly be injured.
Oh.
So they put out a notice to the public, and they were like, hey, be on the lookout for somebody who has a fresh injury to either their knee or their arm. Because if so, we want to talk to them.
Yeah.
But they didn't get any leads from it.
Well, shit.
Yes. So the next thing the police do is they release a bunch of pictures of the unidentified body to the local police stations, along with a description of the victim's estimated age. They said her height was about 5'6", weighed 125 pounds, and she had blue eyes with light brown or strawberry blonde hair that fell past her shoulders, and she had a scar on her left shoulder blade. And they were encouraging families of missing women that if this sounds like your loved one, to come forward, and we have some photos to show you to help identify if this is your loved one.
Oh, God, that would suck.
Isn't that so sad?
Yeah.
So Kim's family recognizes the description that they hear from the police, and after not hearing from her after her work shift that day, they come forward and identify the slain body as Kim.
That day?
I don't know if it was that day. It was pretty close, though. Like, everything happened really fast.
Yeah.
So the police took the family to the morgue to view the body for final confirmation, and it was Kim.
Oh, that sucks.
So sad. I mean, literally, she was abducted on the 4th, and they found her body on the 5th. She was killed right away.
Oh.
The autopsy determined that Kim was found to have been raped. There was semen recovered. And she had a wound inflicted on her collarbone, but that it wasn't deep enough to actually cause death or anything. However, it seemed that she was tortured to death by slow strangulation with a wire or a cord around her neck.
Oh, God.
Here's the weird part.
Slow strangulation?
Right? That sounds awful. Here's the weird part, though. They determined that it took her about a half an hour to die.
Oh,
How do you figure that out?
I don't know, but that sucks. That's so scary.
It's so sad. Can you imagine? No.
Oh,
We don't want to.
no.
Her official cause of death was ruled strangulation, and she also had marks on her wrists and ankles, which suggested that she was tied up before she died.
Oh, my God.
But when she was found, she didn't have, like, anything on her wrists or anything.
Yeah.
It was found that she died around midnight on March 5th. So that's the morning that she was found. And she went missing, technically, at, like, 5:30 on March 4th.
So it was only, like,
It was,
a
like,
couple
really
hours.
like hours
Yeah.
before she had died.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, God, right? This is why you don't hitchhike, people.
Fucking right? I don't think anybody hitchhikes now. Like,
No.
today, if you hitchhiked, you're fucking stupid.
Really, honestly. Well, I totally have seen hitchhikers in my lifetime.
But you've seen hitchhikers, like, in the desert, right?
That's true.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
murderers.
Yes, they are. All right, so now the police, they know who this is. They see this happening, but they have nothing to go off of. All they have is that semen, but it's not like they have, like, some database that they can put it in like they do now.
Yeah.
So they have to, like, actually find the guy and match the DNA in order to determine if it's the guy, right?
Yeah, they don't know who it is. They
Exactly.
just know that there is a guy out there fucking doing some shit.
Yeah. And actually, this is their first person that they found dead, even though we know 2 girls went missing prior.
Yeah.
And they were hitchhiking. This is the first person that they found dead.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, let's try to figure this out. So they asked the public for help, and they started a donation fund to help lead to the arrest of whoever committed this crime. So they're like, hey, if you guys found anything, come forward and let us know, and we're going to collect all these donations. And if you tell us some fucking information that leads to the arrest, you could get this money.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't lead to an arrest right away, but they did discover that on March 4th, after work, Kim did get a ride with 2 men who spoke to the police. They came forward and they were like, hey, that girl that got murdered, we gave her a ride.
Mm-hmm. Suspect A and B.
Found you, suckers. And they said that around 5:30, they had dropped her off on a northbound on-ramp at Bell Avenue and Highway 101, which is about 10 minutes from her work. So they picked her up at her work, gave her like a 10-minute ride, and dropped her off, so she had to find another ride.
Yeah.
And then she obviously got picked up again and ends up, I think I said, like 10 miles from her house.
Yeah.
So she got like another 20-mile ride out of whoever killed her.
God damn.
Yeah.
First of all, when I get off work, I just want to go home.
That sounds miserable to have to hitchhike.
Yeah.
It must have been way easier back then. Like, you just stick out your thumb and like 2 or 3 cars go by and then the 4th one gets you.
I guess.
Okay, so those men come forward, right?
Yeah.
So they questioned both of the men, and they were cleared from suspicion after they passed a polygraph test.
And the fucking semen sample test, right? Because polygraph tests don't do shit.
It
but
said nothing about the semen sample test.
that's so stupid.
Oh my god, I was so mad. I was like, are you fucking serious?
You have it. Just get their DNA. If they're being so willing right now, just take their DNA.
Lick this fucking cotton swab real quick.
Yeah.
Jizz in this cup real quick.
Spit in this fucking tube. I don't know what you need, but do it.
They didn't get clearance based on DNA. They got clearance based on a fucking polygraph test.
Which we know is super reliable.
Right? Also, I'm sure in the 70s they're like, these guys look like respectable men.
Oh, yeah.
They came forward. Why would they come forward?
Yeah.
Now we're in like the fucking era of suspicion. And we're like, are you trying to trick me?
Yeah, why are you coming forward? Is it to throw suspicion on someone else?
Are you hiding in plain sight?
Well, also, now fucking criminals will, like, return to the scene of the crime. And they're like, how's your investigation going?
Yeah, let me help find her.
Yeah, like, would you check in this trash can?
Oh, God.
Like,
Exactly. Nope, they get cleared.
all right.
So then, on November 11th, 1972, 13-year-old Lori Cursa was reported missing by her mother after she ran away while shopping with her. I guess they were shopping together, and she was like, I'm fucking running away. And her mom was like, no.
What?
And then she did. And she was known to run away all of the time, and she was also known to hitchhike.
Okay. That's probably the one that she said you can tell a kid what to do and she won't listen.
Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right, honestly. So she runs away on November 11th. But she goes to live with some friends in Santa Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there with them for like 10 days or so. And then she goes missing from Santa Rosa. And so she was last seen on November 20th or 21st.
Okay.
On December 14th, a young couple was walking along Calistoga Road around 3 p.m., which is a road that runs through Santa Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And they peer down the embankment and they find a nude, frozen body of a young girl.
Frozen?
Frozen. The police were called, and it was determined that the body had been there for at least a week prior to being discovered.
Ooh.
The body didn't show any signs of rape, like the other body did.
Oh, that's good.
But the body had markings to indicate that she hit trees and branches on the way down from the embankment, indicating that she had either jumped from a moving vehicle to her death, or she was thrown down the embankment.
Oh my God.
I know.
First of all, I hope she jumped.
I kind of do too. It would be better if, I guess, you chose to do it.
Yeah.
The body was found to have a dislocated vertebrae near her neck, which contributed to her death.
Oh,
but
she broke her neck?
Yeah. That's how she died, from being thrown from the car or jumping from the car.
Oh my God.
So she wasn't dead.
Wait, was she nude?
Yes, she was nude also.
Oh.
Yep. The exact date and time of her death couldn't be determined because it had been so cold in Santa Rosa at the time, and she was frozen. So, like, natural decay wasn't really happening. So it was decided that she likely died on December 1st through December 8th, like sometime in that time frame.
Oh, wow.
And she went missing on November 20th.
Ooh.
So that's a long time to be missing.
Yeah, that's a really long time to be missing.
Yeah. So the police don't know who this person is, right?
Yeah.
So one of the leads that the police did have on identifying the body was that the girl had, like, very unusual front teeth. And so they reached out to local dentists for dental records. And Lori Cursa was positively identified as the deceased girl by her dentist through her dental records.
Oh, no.
Like, her dentist stepped forward and was like, I know these teeth.
I've seen these teeth before.
And so it was Lori.
So Lori was the 13-year-old girl who ran away in the supermarket?
Yep.
Okay.
She was the little one.
Oh, goddamn.
I know, right? First of all, don't run away from your parents. And second of all, 13 and fucking hitchhiking. We're never going to get over this.
No, it's too little. It's all too little. I'm too little.
Again, the police were stumped because they have nothing to go off of in terms of who committed these crimes. This is when they start to realize that they have a lot of similarities between the murders. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to fear that they have a serial killer on their hands.
Oh, you're starting to fear that, huh?
Yeah, bum, 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 bum.
Well, I guess they've only found 2 bodies?
2 bodies, yeah.
But yeah, this is a serial killer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only difference was that she wasn't raped that they know of.
Yeah.
That they found anyway.
I would say maybe they didn't have time, but she had been held for a while.
No one knows, like, when she actually was abducted or died.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder how accurate their time of death is on that.
Well, so it's interesting you say that because I put all these in, like, chronological order, but reading the newspaper, it'd be like, you know, they don't know who it is, and they'd say it was determined that she died about either this date or this date, and then when you would find out who it was, the girl would go missing on, like, one of those dates.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, okay, they're pretty fucking close.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They can get within a couple of days anyway.
Yeah, but hers was like a week span.
No, that was like, yeah. No one, it's because she was a runaway. Like, no one knew when she went missing.
Yeah.
She just, like, would jump up and leave. So her friends didn't report her missing. It was like she left.
Yeah.
On the 20th or the 21st. That's the last time anyone saw her.
Yeah, but then she wasn't declared dead until the 1st or the 8th?
Yeah, sometime between the 1st and the 8th.
So even if it was the 1st from the 20th, see, like, I wonder when she actually went missing.
I have no idea. No one knows because she would just leave.
Yeah, because she could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or she could have been picked up that day.
But 13, what are you doing at 13?
Fucking right? Go home.
I don't get it at all. Okay, so the police are like, shit, we have a serial killer on our hands, we suspect. So let's create a secret witness program to help encourage anyone with information to step forward with information that leads to an arrest. And then people would get money, right?
Yeah.
These newspaper articles literally had, like, a hand-drawn picture of what you should do, where it's like, type out or write out whatever your confession is or whatever you know, and then put a 4-digit serial number on the bottom left and the bottom right corner of the page, and then tear the right corner off and mail it to us. And if it leads to the arrest, we'll read the number off, and then you come into the police station with your matching page.
Oh,
and we'll put it together and you'll get the reward. Like, it was a fucking raffle.
Kinda, yeah.
And they opened up, like, a P.O. box and shit for all this stuff.
Holy shit.
Yeah, anyway. So a man steps forward and claims that he had seen a white van with an off-colored door on the driver's side, almost like the van had been in an accident and had a dent in it, and that the person had, like, hammered it out and put primer on the door. Mm-hmm. And they saw this van parked along the side of Calistoga Road, where Lori was found, sometime between December 3rd through December 9th. So during the time that they had determined she died.
Right in that window, yeah.
Uh-huh. And that man in the driver's seat had an afro hairstyle, and he says that he also saw 2 other men walking on either side of a young girl, holding her up and leading her to the rear doors of the van. And they pushed the girl inside, and then the men jumped in the van and drove off.
Oh, that's 3 people.
What the fuck? Why is this guy just now coming forward with this? Like, when he saw this, why wasn't he like, let me call the cops or follow that van? Or like, what the fuck did I just witness?
Yeah, or like get the license plate.
Yeah.
Fucking, or figure out the actual day that it was. Like, you didn't look at a calendar after that?
Right? Like, mark it down.
Nah, I just saw a chick get abducted by 3 dudes.
Also, if it had been like a couple, I don't know that I would be able to give a date time frame for something in the past, you know?
Well, no, but if I saw a girl get abducted, I'd be like, it's Monday the fucking 3rd. Like,
yeah, or if you, well, I was thinking if like you, it's stupid enough that the guy didn't report this. Obviously, this was an important event that you don't see every day. But
or I would tell people about it, and then I would remember, like, oh, I told so-and-so about it on Monday.
Yeah.
So it must have happened on Monday.
Yeah, but if you were driving, let's just say it wasn't such an event that stuck in your head so much. You were driving, and you saw a blue Toyota pickup truck or whatever, and you didn't think anything of it, but you saw it, and for some reason, you remember seeing it, and then somebody's like, when did you see that? And it's weeks later. The only way I would remember is if I was going to do something different that day. Like, oh,
yeah,
I was doing something out of my norm, so it had to be in this week time frame.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you see something like that fucking dramatic, you're either talking about it so you can, like, remember it.
Yeah.
Or you fucking look at a calendar or call the goddamn cops.
Yeah. I just, if I saw a person get kidnapped, that's something that would stand out in my head.
Yeah.
If I didn't see a person get kidnapped, then I just saw the van, then I might be like, oh yeah, I saw a weird creepy van one time, sometime around this time. But
I stayed away from it.
Yeah, if I saw a weird creepy van and then some girl get pushed into the back of it, I'd be like, it was Tuesday at 3 p.m.
And here's my timestamp, and I took a picture.
Here's all of my information and my ripped off corner piece.
Give me my money.
Yeah.
All right, so even with this information, the police never find the van or the men, and Lori's case goes cold.
Kind of sounds like a stretch, because he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah,
and
I know.
3 dudes? I didn't think 3 people were involved in this.
I know, but if you think about throwing a body out of a car, or not like out, just holding a body up and then throwing it down an embankment. And
yeah, but 3 dudes to agree to serial kill people.
Yeah, no, there's no way someone's not talking. Maybe 2 people?
Maybe 2 people. That's what I'm saying. Like, you've never heard of 3.
Yeah. The first body they found, Kim, she had 2 men pick her up and come forward.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're the 2 fucking same men that were...
The 2 dudes in the back?
Strong-arming this chick.
Ugh.
Anyway, on December 28th, 1972, the skeletal remains of 2 young women were found off Franz Valley Road, which is about 15 miles from Guernsville Road.
Uh-oh.
Which is where that ice rink was and where everybody fucking lives.
Yeah.
And they were found by 2 boys who were hiking in the area. It was clear that the 2 young girls had been deceased for some time based on the condition of the remains.
Oh, no.
So the boys were hiking, and they spotted a skull on a steep embankment, and they were like, we should go home and tell my dad about this.
Yeah.
And so they do. They run home, tell the father immediately, and the father's like, we need to call the cops. And so the cops come, and the boys bring them to the remains.
Okay.
And there was no evidence of clothing found anywhere around the bodies. There was no
Aww.
buttons or zippers or clasps or buckles or anything. Like, they must have been nude.
Yeah.
Obviously, these had been, like, they were skeletal remains at this point. But they did find 2 pieces of jewelry, which they found with a metal detector.
Ooh.
And they were close to the skeletal remains. So they were using this jewelry as a way to try to help identify these women.
Yeah.
And they have pictures in the newspaper, and they look like if you were wearing jewelry, like an earring, a decorative earring, I would never be able to tell that that's what that was based off of the picture, because they were so matted and dirt and like black, and some of them had like hair wrapped around it. It was,
oh God, that's so sad.
it was gross. It was like that. I would never have identified. And they described it as like, oh, this one has like a teardrop jewel hanging off of it. And I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't see it. Like,
maybe they cleaned it up after and were like,
maybe, but you
like,
should
take
post
the
that
pictures
picture.
first. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I guess a lot more people are going to look at the grosser picture, right?
Probably. Yeah, maybe they did post the other picture, but like the one that is more popular
made it
that
in.
would come up in your searches.
Yeah, probably. So an analysis was done on the bones to determine the age and the height of the women, and dental records were run to help identify who these remains belonged to.
Mm-hmm.
The results came back, and the remains were positively identified as Maureen Sterling and Yvonne Weber.
Oh, no.
Which are the 2 12-year-old girls who went missing at the ice arena almost a year prior.
Damn.
Right? And who the police had labeled as runaways.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking run away.
No, and their skeletal remains, so they've been dead for quite some time.
A long time, exactly. So even though these girls are the like third and fourth victims found, they were really likely the first victim of the Santa Rosa Hitchhiker murderer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they went missing a month before Kim Allen, which was the first body we found.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's kind of a puzzle. Trying to make it as like linear as possible.
I'm following along.
Thanks. I'm glad. Unfortunately, the skeletal remains led to little indication to how the pair had died.
Mm-hmm.
But they were found down an embankment with no clothing, so there's definitely a link to, like, the way
How many embankments does this fucking town have?
Well, not that many, because they're about to appear in the same fucking embankment.
Okay.
Not to give away too much of the story, but you can kind of see every fucking person is going to die basically in the same way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, this guy definitely had, like, an MO.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing the same things. They're naked. Most of them were tied up at one time.
Ugh.
Their remains weren't always still tied up, but there would be, like, evidence of it and shit.
Yeah. And they were nude and then thrown down an embankment.
Exactly. And it happened fast, like, from most of the time that you can determine when they died. It's, like, the day later or something.
Yeah.
So he's not, like, keeping them hostage for a long time or anything.
Which is another thing that makes me think it's not 3 people.
That they're not keeping them for a long time?
Yeah, I feel like 3 people would keep someone.
Maybe, yeah, because they're, like, they could.
Yeah, they
Just 'cause
could.
they could.
Yeah, like, you could take shifts or whatever, like, of watching the person, or you'd have more places to, like, keep the person, or
Yeah.
things like that. Like, whereas one person could be like, well, fuck, I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Throw her over there.
So I think it's one person also. But part of me is like, well, there has to be at least 2 people because there's 2 girls in this last scenario, right? Even
Yeah.
though they're 12, that's still hard to wrangle 2 12-year-olds. It's like fucking herding cats.
Yeah.
And then also throwing them over an embankment. Like, I realize I'm like a puny little fucking chick that I don't lift bodies over my head and throw them over embankments, so I don't really know how hard it is. But it sounds hard to me.
I imagine it would depend if they were previously deceased or not.
Yeah.
Like
if
the
they're
first-
struggling or if they're dead weight.
Yeah, like the quote-unquote first person that we found, Kimberly? Kim?
Yeah, Kim.
She was dead before she was thrown down the embankment because she was strangled.
Uh-huh.
So if these 2 girls were found before her, it's, I mean, not necessarily likely. I'm just speculating fucking wildly.
They were probably dead.
But they may have been dead before he threw them down there. And so that, I mean, like a dude could pick up a 12-year-old girl and be like, whoop.
Yep. Toss. That's true. And then if the embankment's steep enough, the body's just going to
Tumble.
go where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only girl that wasn't dead was, I think, that Lori girl, right? She had broken her neck when she went down. But maybe he thought she was dead.
Yeah, that was another thing. Maybe she was, like, passed out or something, like he tried to strangle her.
Uh-huh.
But then they were like, oh, but her neck is broken, so that's what caused her death.
Yeah. Maybe. It's fucking creepy.
Yeah. Gross.
But you're right. I'm kind of onto, like, the 1-person, maybe 2-person theory also.
Yeah. 3 people? I'm not buying it.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Maybe the guy thought he saw a driver.
Maybe. Okay, so the next victim, Carolyn Davis, was a 14-year-old girl who on February 6th, 1973, so now we're into the next year.
God, they're all babies.
I know. She ran away from her home in Shasta County, California, which is about 200 miles from Santa Rosa, to live with her grandma in Garberville, which is about 150 miles from Santa Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
On July 15th, 1973, Carolyn went missing after she was dropped off by her grandma outside of a post office, and she was also known to hitchhike and was evidently last seen hitchhiking off the 101 highway, and her family thought that she was headed for San Diego.
Oh, shit.
But then, on July 31st, 1973, so this is like 15 days later from when she went missing, a motorcyclist found the body of a nude woman lying face down off of an embankment off Franz Valley Road, which was only 4 feet from the exact same spot that Maureen Sterling and Yvonne Weber were found 7 months prior. So the 2 12-year-old girls. 4 fucking feet. Like, the dude stopped at the same exact spot to throw the body over.
I wonder if it was like a lookout or like a,
Like
know,
a
those
pullover?
pull-off?
Yeah.
Like to pass whatever. So other cars can pass you.
I think it did say that it had like a little wider spot in the road where you could pull over.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. It was clear to police that the killer was taunting them now by putting the body in the same exact spot.
Well, and in the spot of the most recent bodies that they found.
Right? Like, exactly. Like, okay, you're just playing fucking games now and you think you're all clever.
Yeah.
The autopsy revealed that the estimated date of death was determined to be around July 20th. So a couple days prior to, 10 days prior to her being found.
Oh my gosh.
The police put out a public notice yet again that another unidentified woman was found and the dental records were needed to help identify who the woman was. Carolyn's sister had heard the police notice, and so she gets her sister's dental records and sends it over to them, and she's positively identified.
Oh, jeez.
What's interesting, though, is they run toxicology reports on Carolyn to help determine the cause of death. Mm-hmm. And they find her cause of death to be strychnine poisoning.
Oh my God.
Right? It wasn't clear if it was administered orally or intravenously, but it was her ultimate cause of death. And supposedly strychnine is often mixed with heroin or amphetamines, but there was no evidence of those drugs present in her system.
Oh.
Interestingly, because I was like, what the fuck is strychnine poisoning?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and what happens is if you get this in your body, ingest it, or shoot it up, it leads to convulsions in the body so severe that the person dies either from asphyxiation because the neural pathways that control breathing, they become paralyzed, so your body doesn't know how to breathe.
Holy shit.
Or if you don't die from that, you die from exhaustion due to the extreme convulsions. And it takes 2 to 3 hours to die.
Holy shit.
That's fucking awful.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Where does one acquire this? I just don't.
Oh, it's on Amazon.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Like, that's really weird that you know that.
I've looked into it.
I'm not taking any of your fucking pills.
It's in your water.
Enjoy. You have 2 to 3 hours. So, again, the police have no leads to go off of, and they have no clue who's committing all these fucking murders. And they're getting frustrated, obviously, and they're trying to do everything they can to figure it out, but they don't know who's doing the shit.
Oh my God. They don't know if she ingested it or shot it up?
They don't know for sure. It was just in her system.
Oh, that's awful.
Like in her blood. What's interesting, though, is she wasn't found with strangulation marks or anything, so...
Yeah.
But she was found down an embankment.
The first girl, Kim, who was strangled, was she found with strangulation marks, or were they just it was asphyxiation? It must have been strangulation
Yeah,
marks.
it was like she'd been strangled with a thin wire or a cord.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would think that this was done by the hitchhiker dude.
Yeah.
Because they're nude down the same embankment.
Yeah.
Unless maybe it's a copycat person, but that's really weird.
This town's fucked up if you have 2 people doing that shit.
Yeah, right? Because everything else is pretty much the same. But they were posting the shit in the newspaper, so if somebody wanted to copycat it, it would be easy to do.
Yeah. But they were also all kind of dying in different
manners.
ways.
Like, it wasn't exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. Okay, so on December 22nd, 1973, 23-year-old Teresa Walsh, so now she's 23, we got an older person now, was planning on hitchhiking from Zuma Beach, Malibu, to Garberville, which is where Carolyn, the previous victim, was from, right? So that's 200 miles from Santa Rosa, to join her family at home for Christmas. But she never arrives because on December 28th at 2 p.m., 2 youths, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl or whatever, they just said youths, but they were 17 and 18. They were kayaking down the Mark West Creek in Santa Rosa, California. Mm-hmm. And they find the body of a woman, hogtied and half submerged underwater, stuck under a log and a rock.
Holy shit.
Right?
That's different.
That is different. She was found hogtied with her arms and legs bound against her chest, and the clothesline rope wire thing was wrapped around her neck in a noose, so if she struggled, it tightened.
Oh, God.
And what's weird is her thumbs were also tied together.
I don't know.
Maybe so you can't use your thumbs to, undo yourself?
Maybe.
I don't know. But based on the placement of the body, it was determined that she was not dumped there, but probably upstream, and the currents and the recent heavy rain that had been happening in Santa Rosa had carried her body downstream, where it got stuck and then eventually discovered.
Oh, my God.
So she might not have ever really been found.
That's crazy, and that's horrifying.
I know. Oh, my God, hogtied in a river or a creek, whatever.
Well, she was dead first, hopefully.
Yeah, that's true, hopefully. The autopsy found that the woman had been strangled to death and had been dead in the water 2 days prior to being found.
Oh, my God.
So she did die from strangulation from the hogtie.
Ugh.
Police sent out another public notice for anyone missing loved ones that was of Mexican-American descent and had false upper teeth. and was around the age of 26 years old. So again, they don't know that this is Teresa Walsh at the time.
Yeah.
But she was 23, and they're predicting her to be 26, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty close.
It's pretty good math.
Yeah.
But anyway, so eventually Teresa's mom hears the news. She goes and positively identifies her remains with dental records and fingerprints and everything.
Oh.
So it's her.
That's so sad.
I know.
Right after Christmas.
I know. Like, she was missing for Christmas.
Ugh.
That's super sad.
But this is really different.
Well, I mean, is it though? Because some of the other bodies were found with strangulation marks and like the tied up around.
Tied up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly, around their wrists and shit. So it kind of follows the same thing.
Yeah.
And she was nude.
Ugh.
It's so weird.
But he left all of his like evidence this time.
The rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all of his evidence, but it's evidence.
It's something.
Yeah.
Like, we could say, hey, this came from this spool of rope.
Yeah.
That you own.
And it has fingerprints on it.
Motherfucker.
I don't know if you can get fingerprints off a rope, but...
I'm sure you can get some... Well, maybe not in the 70s. I was going to say some sort of DNA.
Yeah. Or like it was purchased from fucking...
Ace Hardware.
Yeah. At this place, at this time, by this guy.
Yeah, it's something. Definitely. Yeah. An interesting thing to note was that the body was found in this creek, right? Mm-hmm. And where she was found was about a quarter of a mile downstream from where this river passes under Calistoga Road, which is where Lori Curso was found and dumped.
Oh.
So the guy or girl, the murderer, could have tossed the body kind of in the same area, and the body fell in the creek, and because it had been raining and everything, pulled the body downstream.
Ooh.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So then there's actually been a lot of other unidentified people and identified people that they've kind of linked to possibly belonging to this hitchhiker murderer, but they don't have enough evidence to definitively say these cases were the main ones.
Yeah.
But there was one other person on July 2nd on 1979, so this is like many years later, where all this shit happened like months apart. Now this is many years later. Another unidentified woman was found 100 yards from where Lori Curso was found, but her cause of death was unknown.
Oh.
They just found some remains in the same area.
Okay.
I don't know when she died. I don't know much about it. It's just they found some more remains there.
This is like 7 years later?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they didn't find anybody? Please tell me this is solved.
No, this is an unsolved one.
Holy shit.
No one knows who the fuck the Santa Rosa Hitchhiker murderer is. But they have some theories.
Okay.
And they're probably equally as dissatisfying as knowing that it's not really solved. Because it's like crazy people, right? We're all crazy. All of us people who love true crime, we're like, it's gotta be this person.
Yeah.
The first theory is that it's the Zodiac Killer.
Oh.
The Zodiac Killer was known for slaying couples, but one of his last letters that he sent to the cops was saying something along the lines of like, oh, I'm going to change up my MO and I'm going to make my victims my slaves and use them in the next world for all of this like sick shit. Like, I didn't read. I'm sure I've actually read the note. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
This theory was kind of like outlined on Reddit a little bit more, that somebody on Reddit said that in one of the murders, I don't know if it was the Hitchhiker Murders or if it was just a murder in Santa Rosa or what, there was a symbol left by one of the bodies found, and the symbol was like 2 upside-down triangles or some shit. Mm-hmm. And that it was a symbol known to be used in Zodiac's like letters.
Yeah.
And everything. So they're like, oh, look, it could be
He wrote
him.
ciphers, though. It was fucking, you're going to get a million shapes.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true. I don't know how, I mean, obviously this is on Reddit, so this is just somebody's theory. Was like, oh, it could be linked to the Zodiac Killer because they used the same symbols near one of the dead bodies that died in a similar way.
Yeah.
A lot of people refute the theory that it was the Zodiac's doing because the pattern is so different than what he normally did. Like, he targeted couples, he would, like, talk to them, and then he normally shot them.
Yeah.
Where, like, this is, like...
more personal.
Yeah, and it's, like, hitchhiking, it's not up on Lover's Lane. Like, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, I don't think it's the Zodiac Killer. The second theory is that it's Ted Bundy, and he was mainly a suspect because he was known for picking up young, attractive women and then killing them in unconventional ways, a.k.a. not with, like, a knife or a gun, but with, like, a crowbar or something else instead, like whatever he had around him.
Yeah.
And he was known to be in Santa Rosa around the time of the killings, but his confession places his first victim in 1974. And all of these happened 1972 and 73.
Yeah.
So that's slightly before he started killing. And supposedly he has some like gas receipts from someplace in Washington State at the time of the murders to prove that he wasn't in California.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that there are receipts placing him in Washington. Again, I got these from like Reddit and shit, so
yeah,
it's not an accurate source of information. I just don't know if I believe it because like who the fuck saves receipts from that long ago?
Yeah.
To be like, no, see, I was here. And then if he's coming forward to confess, like I did all this shit and it started in 1974, like why wouldn't he just tell the truth about the previous
Yeah, he's already
people?
like in prison for life or whatever he got. I don't remember, but
exactly. Oh, also, they tested his DNA. Like people believed it enough that they tested his DNA against the DNA that was found in Lori, the technically third victim. But the DNA came back and it didn't match.
Oh, well, there you go.
You know, so he's ruled out. Third theory is that it's this guy named Arthur Allen. He was a known child molester who lived in Santa Rosa at the time of the killings, who was also suspected of being the Zodiac killer. Mm-hmm. Evidently in the book Zodiac Unmasked, the author mentions that a police officer had stated that some of the Santa Rosa victims had chipmunk hairs found in their hands.
What?
Like they found chipmunk hairs at the scene.
Okay.
Again, this is all shit coming from Reddit, so I didn't read this book or anything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the newspapers. But supposedly chipmunk hair was found in their hands, and Arthur was known to have chipmunks or to care for chipmunks, or he had some hobby that involved chipmunks.
Okay.
But also, the Zodiac Unmasked book has been known to not have the most accurate information. Like, people are like, oh, the author lied a lot about a lot of shit, or stretched the truth about a lot of shit. So
that sucks.
That one seems like the most promising, but I don't know if it's true.
They had chipmunk hair in their hands?
Yeah. But don't you think, unless the cops weren't going to print any of that because they wanted some sort of, like, aha, smoking gun. But it didn't sound like they tested anybody for fucking chipmunk hairs. Anyway, the last theory is that it's this guy named Frederick Manali, who was a 41-year-old Santa Rosa junior college professor who died on August 24th, 1976 in a head-on collision, like a car accident. And he was later found to have sadomasochistic drawings of Kim Allen in his possession.
What?
Which I guess she was like a student of his or something at one time.
How did I know it was her?
I don't know. Like, the only thing I could think of was, like, he either, one, was a really good artist.
Yeah.
Or two, was, like,
it was
Kim
like Kim
Allen. Yeah, with like an arrow.
Exactly.
So I don't know for sure how or why or whatever, but the killings did stop. You know,
but there was the last one in 1979.
Yeah, but I don't know how old those remains were or anything.
Oh.
And nobody knows who she is, who the body is.
Yeah.
Like, she hasn't been positively identified. I don't know how she died.
Ugh.
I mean, she was found in the same area as somebody else. But fuck, man, it sounds like you could die anywhere in that town and somebody else has died there already.
Seriously.
Right?
Well, goddamn.
Isn't that crazy?
That's scary as hell.
But I do think it's interesting that teacher, he died, and then they kind of stopped abruptly, right? Like, he died in 1976, I guess. But if we're going by, let's just say that Jane Doe lady died in 1973 also, or 1974 or something. He was killing so rapidly, so close together, like months apart. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he's just going to stop out of nowhere. Like something had to have happened.
Sick or something. Like, how did he die?
Yeah. How'd this guy die?
Yeah, the junior college guy.
In the head-on collision.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But then that still was like 3 years after the latest murder we know of.
Yeah, I was going to say, it would make sense if, like, he got sick and died of cancer or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. Although there is DNA, so everybody go, like, swab your cheeks and go figure out your, like, ancestry shit.
Yeah, go figure out your ancestry and see if one of your relatives is a goddamn murderer. Yeah.
Hitchhiker murderer.
That shit's crazy to me that we're solving so many, like, cold cases through that.
I know. But I guess you can't just... It's not like they can go to, like, Ancestry.com and use that DNA.
No, but there's other, like, genealogy sites that are doing it for that.
Yep. Yeah, that you can go, like, submit your DNA.
And in Ancestry, you, like, can agree to share your DNA.
What do you mean?
It means there's, like, a checkbox or whatever that's, like, do you agree to share your DNA to see if, like, fucking, I don't know, certain things are, like, share it for medical reasons or for research reasons or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, fuck yeah, share that shit.
Yeah, get it. I didn't know what you meant by share. I was like, tell other people that you did it? Because isn't that the purpose of it? To be
like Facebook share?
Yeah, like, I did this, and my DNA is now in the system. That's how you're supposed to meet people, right?
Yeah.
But I get it for, like, research. Or,
yeah.
Well, so far, none of your family has been a murderer
Not
suspect.
yet. Or they haven't found him yet.
There's still time.
There's still time. We'll know where I got my weird fucking fascination from.
I know, right? Anyway, so that's my fucking story.
Well, goddamn.
Recommended by Anna.
Thanks, Anna.
Happy fucking birthday.
Fucking crushed it.
Killed it. Okay, you tell me your story.
Okay.
After I pee.
During that pee break, I learned that you can buy strychnine.
Uh-huh.
It's gopher poison.
Oh. Why would you
Yeah.
use that to shoot up heroin?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I saw other stuff that was like strychnine, extract, fucking pill bottles things. I shouldn't have clicked it, but I was like, I had Googled strychnine, and then I was like, shopping. So I'm on a list.
You already were on a list just for being on this podcast and the shit we have to research.
I know, I'm on a lot of lists, but now they're like, is this coming to fruition?
Yeah.
So no one around me fucking eat gopher poisoning.
Oh my god.
But for anyone shopping, it's $4.99 on eBay, so.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Anyway, are you ready for my story, Stacey?
I'm ready for your story.
All right.
Give it to me.
Mine is about Mary Shotwell Little and Diane Marie Shields.
Okay.
In 1965, Mary Shotwell Little was working at a bank in Atlanta, and she was married to a guy named Roy for 6 weeks. So, freshly married.
Yes.
She was 25 years old. On October 14th, when her main man was out of town, Mary had dinner with a coworker at the Piccadilly cafeteria in the Lenox Square shopping center.
Was this a male coworker?
It didn't specify, but on
Oh.
another thing, I got the feeling that it was a lady.
Okay. At the Piccadilly?
At the Piccadilly. Good old Piccadilly cafeteria. And she had been, like, grocery shopping and stuff, too, because it's like a little strip mall type thing.
Okay.
She had been grocery shopping, and then she had dinner with this coworker. And according to the coworker, she was in very good spirits that night.
Uh-huh.
And they finished up dinner, and then Mary was last seen heading to her car at 8 p.m.
All right.
Her car was a gray 1965 Mercury Comet.
All right.
So,
What year was this again?
this happened in 1965.
Okay, so it was a brand new fucking car.
Yeah.
Mary's doing well for herself.
Yeah. Working at a bank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, the next morning, she didn't show up for work, and they couldn't reach her. Like, none of her coworkers could reach her. And so her boss, Jean Rackley, which, again, I couldn't find out if it was a man or a woman. Because Jean, like, it could be either, right?
Yeah.
I got the feeling it was a man because I was like, this guy killed her. Because I'm going to point at any person who comes forward and is like, I tried to contact her. I'm like, well, what else did you try to do, Jean?
Yeah, are you trying to hide in plain sight, Jean?
Yeah.
Jean.
Pretty sure Jean didn't kill her. But, and I don't know if it was a man or a woman. But he called the shopping center to see if her car was still in the parking lot, right?
Okay.
So they said that the car was not in the parking lot.
Oh, alrighty.
And then Jean was concerned, and so around noon, they went to the shopping center to check for themselves and found her car there.
Oh.
And so they called the police.
Okay, wait. So they called the shopping center, and the shopping center was like, nope, no such car.
Yep.
Whoever they talked to said that.
Yeah, whoever they talked to said that. At,
Either
like, earlier in the morning.
sounds suspicious, or it sounds like what I would do if I worked at a shopping center.
Have you seen this car? Not
No.
ever. Not once in my life.
Nope. Nope.
Did you check? I'm looking out the window right now.
I'm gazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a comet is.
Yeah, like, either is possible. But inside the car, they find ladies' panties, a slip and a girdle all folded inside, like neatly folded. There was a bra on the floorboard next to a stocking, like leg stocking, you know, that had been cut with a knife.
That's not good.
Nope. There were traces of blood on the clothes and inside the car,
Not Mary's.
including the back window.
Oh.
Don't know if that's relevant, but
like were they splashes of blood or like smears of blood?
I want to say, well, it said traces. Like, I'm assuming it's probably more like smears,
Oh.
but
God, that's sad.
yeah. There was red dust on the outside of the car, suggesting that it had been driven on a dirt road.
Oh.
And there was a fingerprint in blood on the steering wheel that was unidentified.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. The amount of blood that they found inside the car was likely caused by something minor, though. Like, it wasn't like someone died in that car.
Okay.
They said it was, like, it could have been a nosebleed. It wasn't.
Oh.
It was, like, trace amounts of blood.
Interesting. I don't know much about cars.
Okay.
1965 comment. Is it a hatchback? Like, maybe it got on the back window?
It's a two-door.
All right.
It's not really, like, hatchbacky.
So it has a trunk. It's kind of like a Camaro or something.
Yeah, it's like an old Buick-looking car.
All right.
Like a, old-ass car.
Okay.
It's fucking big.
Not a hatchback, though. I was thinking maybe that's how it could get on the back window. If you, like, had a cut or something and you were getting into the back.
No. So, her car keys and her purse and the rest of her clothing weren't found.
Okay.
The weird thing to me is that her husband, Roy, kept detailed mileage logs for that car.
Okay.
And when they compared it to the odometer, there were 41 miles that couldn't be accounted for.
Interesting. First of all, good on Roy. Secondly, would never marry a man like that.
Fucking right.
That sounds like a lot of work and a lot of upkeep.
Yeah, also they were or he was out of town. So, like, I mean, maybe she went shopping one time and didn't tell you, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, this is the 60s. I think every woman was accounted for at all times.
That's true. Different times, man.
Yes.
I don't know, but 41 miles too. Like, not 40, 41.
Yeah. That is fucking accurate as shit.
Yeah. I don't know how long he was out of town for. Maybe it was just like he was out of town that night or whatever, and then he came back because his wife came up missing and was like, oh shit, well, yesterday when I left, there was this many miles. It only takes this long to get here, you know?
Yeah. Where did these 41 miles come from?
Yeah. So, no one remembers seeing the car parked in the shopping center overnight, and they gave out overnight tickets that this car didn't have.
All right.
It is likely that the car left and then came back.
Okay, so that worker wasn't lying.
Yeah. And there was also a cop that patrolled the parking lot at 6 a.m., and even he said that it wasn't there at that time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, they checked Mary's gas card and found that it had been used early in the morning on October 15th, the morning after she was last seen.
Uh-huh.
It was used in Charlotte, North Carolina. Remember, she works at a bank in Atlanta, so it's not that far, but
still
different.
Weird for her to get gas there.
Yeah. Well, Charlotte was her hometown.
Oh, okay.
And then the card was used a second time 12 hours later in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, so somebody's blowing through gas.
Yeah.
41 miles worth of gas.
Right. Raleigh is less than 3 hours away from Charlotte. So,
okay.
I don't know, little time frame on that.
Interesting.
The credit slips were signed Mrs. Roy H. Little Jr., and it was in her handwriting.
Oh.
Both of the gas station attendants from both of the gas stations that she went to, they recalled seeing a lady that matched Mary's description, and they said that she avoided eye contact and had a cut on her head.
Oh.
So
that's where the blood came from.
Yeah. Like a minor cut, maybe?
Oh.
She was with a man in Charlotte, and she was with two men in Raleigh.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And the two men seemed very controlling of her,
according
to this gas station
attendant.
Yeah. Obviously, the first suspect is always the husband.
Yes.
And they look into Roy, and apparently a lot of Mary's friends didn't like Roy and, had even refused to go to their wedding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't they like him?
I don't know, but maybe it has something to do with keeping track of the mileage.
Yeah, maybe he was a little controlling.
Yeah. And he refused to take a lie detector test and didn't seem overly concerned with her disappearance.
Ooh, you're looking pretty suspicious, Mr. Roy.
Yeah. However, he was out of time at the abduction, and he had no clear motive on it. And he came forward with the mileage thing to be like, check this shit out, there's 41 miles missing.
Yeah, that's true.
I think if you were guilty of that, you might not offer that information up so readily.
Unless you're trying to hide in plain sight.
Maybe.
But yeah, I get it. No, I agree.
Yeah. So he was ruled out as a suspect.
Okay.
And Roy later got a ransom call for $20,000 for the return of Mary.
Oh, shit.
The caller told Roy to go to an overpass in the Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina.
Okay.
And that further instructions would be posted on a sign there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so a cop went instead of Roy, obviously, because they're not going to be like,
go ahead, Roy.
Go ahead. You seem like you're in good spirits.
Yeah, this will be a safe journey for you.
Yeah.
You can handle this, right?
Yeah, no problem. And when he got there, there was a blank piece of paper attached to the sign, and then they never heard from the caller again.
A blank piece of paper?
Yeah.
Oh, what if?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you were a kid, you could write secret messages in
Yes.
like lemon juice and like hold it up to a lamp and it would burn the lemon juice?
Yeah.
And it would reveal the message?
Yeah, I do remember
Or
those.
you think magic ink was a thing?
Yeah, invisible ink.
Yeah.
I hope they checked that. I don't know that they did.
I hope so too.
Anyway,
on that note.
According to Mary's friends and coworkers, she had been receiving phone calls at work that had really, spooked her.
Oh, God.
She was heard saying, "I'm a married woman now."
I'm a married woman.
Yeah. But then this part really got me. "You can come over to my house anytime you like, but I can't come over there."
Weird.
Yeah. Like, in what situation would
if somebody's, hitting on you and you're like, I'm a married woman now, let's not hang out.
Yeah.
Because I know your intentions.
Yeah, I know your intentions. But, in what scenario would it be okay for a person to come to your house but not for you to go to their house?
Maybe
or
because
wherever?
she knew Roy would be around?
Maybe. But you can come over anytime you like he'll kick your ass?
I don't know.
Maybe?
Maybe she's like, oh, I feel safe because Roy's there.
Yeah.
So you can come over to my house anytime, but I can't go to your house.
Yeah, maybe the person's like, I just want to talk.
I don't have my chaperone.
Yeah. Either way, makes no fucking sense to me.
No, it's weird.
Yeah. She also got a dozen roses delivered to her apartment anonymously.
She had a stalker.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Or an admirer.
Ooh. But she never told her husband about it.
What'd she do with the flowers?
Probably threw them away. Maybe kept them, was like, I bought them.
Oh, they were delivered to her work?
Apartment.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So here's a weird little tidbit about her workplace.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, the bank she worked for had hired a former FBI agent to investigate issues with lesbian sexual harassment and prostitution on the bank's property.
Wow. Lesbian prostitution in the 60s.
Well, lesbian sexual harassment
but prostitution.
and prostitution.
Okay.
I don't know if those are separate
or combined.
But yeah, in the 60s.
Interesting.
And Mary's boss, Jean, here we go again, Jean.
Yes.
Insisted that it was only a minor scandal with low-level employees.
Well, it doesn't matter what level the employees are.
Well, I mean, I guess it'd be better
record.
than the CEO is in a prostitution ring versus...
Oh, you mean in terms of the bank's reputation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Jean is trying to...
Yeah, downplay.
No, listen. It's just... It was a scandal, a short scandal for some time.
Past. They're no longer with us.
Yeah, exactly. It's not anything to do with the bank. But also...
Is it Jean?
Is it Jean? Jean also claims that Mary hadn't been aware of the investigation.
Oh,
Other coworkers, however, said that Mary had mentioned the investigation to them.
All right.
So this makes Jean seem a little bit more suspicious to me again.
Yeah.
Which, now, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Is this person involved in the lesbian sexual harassment ring? Or is this a man that's I don't know, it changes things, right?
Yeah.
So, a few days after Mary had gone missing, a lady came forward and said that in that same parking lot that Mary was taken from,
Uh-huh.
she was walking to her car when she realized that she was being followed.
Oh, fuck that.
And so she jumped into her car and she locked her door right as the man grabbed the handle.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. And she was like, if you think you're getting into my car, you're crazy, right?
Uh-huh.
And he knocked on her window and said, your back tire is low.
Oh, fuck no.
And she was like, nah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, get out of here.
And she drove away. And
I will
obviously,
drive on a flat tire.
Yeah, just to get away from your creepy ass.
Yeah.
And obviously it wasn't flat.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, it was just a fucking scary dude.
But she saw him.
Yeah, she saw him. And this was only minutes before Mary was last seen going to her car.
Fuck.
So...
Maybe Mary went to go look at a flat tire and got bonked.
Yeah.
And taken.
Yeah. Don't know.
Okay.
In 1966, the FBI interviewed an inmate at Georgia State Prison who was serving life for murder. He claimed that he knew 2 men had been paid $5,000 each to kidnap Mary.
Oh, shit. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. And they took her to a house in Mount Holly, North Carolina, where she was held captive and eventually murdered.
Why?
The inmate didn't know the motive or who had hired them, and the FBI didn't believe him. They thought it was just
attention seeking.
Yeah, attention or,
trying to get something through a confession. Yeah.
Exactly. And so her murder was never solved.
Well, did they find a body?
Nope.
Oh, shit. So she just went missing, and we're assuming she's dead.
We're assuming she's dead, yeah.
Oh, my God.
She gone.
She gone.
It's been 50 years now.
Oh, my God.
She's 70-something now. Math. She's
Well,
math old.
Oh, man.
So, a lady named Diane Shields took over Mary's job at the bank
Oh, God.
because life goes on as usual.
Yeah.
She even sat at Mary's old desk and befriended her former colleagues.
Oh, no.
She even lived with some of them for a time.
Oh, my God. That's so weird. Like, I guess it's really not that weird, other than I'm assuming she also gets murdered because she's part of the story.
Yeah, she's part of this story. Yeah. Not to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
there are some similarities here.
Yeah.
The roommates that she's living with were even roommates of Mary's from before she had been married.
Oh, my God. No way.
Yeah.
What? That's kind of creepy.
Super creepy. So,
That's weird.
she later left that job and became an office secretary and moved in with her sister, but she had been aware of Mary's murder. Like, she knew all that happened, and then this is only a couple years later.
Uh-huh.
Then at 5:05 p.m. on May 19th in 1967, Diane left her job to head home, and she was seen driving away, like, towards the direction of her home.
Yeah.
As a precaution, Diane always drove with her passenger door locked to prevent anyone getting in.
Smart.
Very smart.
Yes.
And then at 2:30 a.m., a police on patrol found her car parked near a laundromat.
Okay.
There was blood dripping from the trunk, and her keys were found in the ignition.
No.
So he was like, oh, shit.
I'm gonna open this trunk.
I'm going to investigate this shit.
Yeah.
Her body was found folded in the trunk of the car
Oh, my God.
between a spare tire and some cooking utensils in a cardboard box.
Oh, my God.
Also in the box was a copy of Betty Crocker's New Dinner for Two, because she was engaged to get married in July, which was only 2 months later.
Oh, my God. That's so sad.
Really sad. That, I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but, like, to me, I'm like, well, what about the wedding coordinators? Like, or someone to do with the weddings, because this other lady had just been married for 6 weeks, and she got murdered.
Oh. Damn, there's, like, a lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities.
But, like, did she have stalkers at work and shit, too?
I'll tell you.
Oh, my God. What if it's the same person and he's just creepo?
It could be. So, a little bit more about finding the car.
Okay.
And her. She was fully clothed except for her shoes, which were found in the back seat floorboard.
Ugh.
There was no evidence of a sexual assault or anything like that. Like, her dress was pulled down normal. I mean, not normal. She's fucking in the trunk of a car. But
yeah,
she wasn't assaulted.
She was clothed.
Yeah. And she had been strangled with a rope or a wire.
Oh.
The medical examiner said there was 5 times the necessary force used to strangle her. And that it was a very brutal death.
Whoa. 5 times?
Yeah.
That's, first of all...
Too many times.
Yeah. I don't know how they find that out, but holy shit.
Yeah.
This person has some rage.
Yeah, or something. That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
She was beaten so badly that she had to be identified by her dress and her ring.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. She often wore a kerchief around her neck, and that was found shoved down her throat.
Ugh.
And police officers said that they had been told that that was done with enough force to kill her.
Ew!
But
what?
the official cause of death was strangulation.
Oh my God.
But what the fuck?
Like, she was choking to death on her own fucking handkerchief.
Yeah.
Whatever you called it.
I mean, if a kerchief.
A kerchief.
She hadn't been strangled, like, that would have killed her too.
That sounds like fucking terrible way to die.
Yeah. That sounds awful.
Oh my God.
So the super creepy part is that there was also a blank piece of paper found in her throat.
In her throat?
In her throat.
Was it, like, folded up?
I imagine so. It'd have to be, like, crumpled
or balled
at least. Yeah. But a blank piece of paper.
What?
I mean, they didn't say that it was similar to the one for Mary's ransom.
That's what we're getting at.
Also, it's a coincidence. And some people speculate that it was, like, a message, like, you better stay quiet, like, keep your mouth shut, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
She had been hit under her right eye and under her right ear, but I guess it was bad enough to, like, really mess her up.
Break some things.
Yeah. She had a cut on the back of her head, but the medical examiner said that that might have been caused by a fall.
Uh-huh.
And her purse was found beside her body in the trunk, and it was intact. Like I said, she was identified by her engagement ring, so she still had that on her. So this wasn't a sexual motive. It wasn't a robbery.
Yeah.
Like, this is something else.
Weird.
Yeah. The pantyhose that she had been wearing were dirt-stained, like she had been walking on a dusty floor, and there were scratches on her legs that couldn't be explained.
Oh, interesting.
And so police...
It wasn't just in the car. Everything didn't happen just in the car.
Yeah, it wasn't just in the car. Exactly.
Yeah.
Police don't believe that she was killed in her car, but they were unable to come up with a location of the murder.
Uh-huh.
They also don't believe that she was killed, like, right in front of the laundromat, because it's not a dusty place, I guess.
Yeah. How weird. It's so weird that, like, there's blood dripping from her car, too.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. The passenger door of her car was also locked when she was found.
Oh,
So,
like how she normally locked it.
How she normally had it, yeah. So this person didn't, like, get in when she got in or what. I mean, there's plenty of other ways to do it, but that's just kind of...
an interesting note.
Yeah. So the police believe that there were a lot of similarities between Mary's disappearance and Diane's murder.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Fucking Mary 2.0 over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
For one, Diane had received roses at work, and she said they were anonymous.
Oh, no. I knew it.
Here's the thing. They weren't anonymous.
Oh.
They were from a babysitting client.
What?
Yeah, but the news picked up on it and was saying that there was a rose killer on the loose in Atlanta.
So she never claimed them as to be anonymous.
She claimed them to be anonymous.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she claimed them to be anonymous, but they weren't. I don't know. I don't want to talk shit, but you know that person that, like, puts themselves closer to a catastrophe than they are?
Oh, yeah. Like, kind of exaggerates things
Yeah.
to match, like...
To match something else awful? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of an example, but, like, to say this person who got murdered that worked here before you got anonymous roses delivered, and then when you get roses delivered, you're like, ooh, they're anonymous.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's going to obviously bring up some, like, red flags for people around you.
Yeah.
Why would she do that, though?
I don't know. It's weird. And that's just my, like, I didn't like that.
Oh. See, I was thinking maybe she was like, oh, I got roses, and the newspaper, the media was like,
They both
she got
roses.
anonymous roses. But it was really...
Well, I thought it said that she said that they were anonymous.
Oh, weird.
Which maybe it was. Maybe it was just, like, only the news being like, they both got roses.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
know how
rose
to get
killer.
out of control.
Yes, kind of thing. And so let's say that that's what it is. So some of Diane and Mary's roommates became super nervous that they were going to be next.
Oh my God, I bet.
Yeah, and they had suspicions about one of their coworkers.
Oh.
They didn't say Jean, but
I think it's
Listen.
Jean.
I'm suspicious of Jean.
Poor Jean.
I know.
Just trying to keep his company intact.
Yeah.
Clean name. Keep that brand name strong.
Right? They called a police officer one night and asked to come over to his house. These are the roommates.
Yeah.
And the police officer said that the women were scared to death, and he and his wife stayed up with them all night in the living room.
The police officer and his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. That same officer, though, thought that the coincidences in the case were just that, and he recommended that the FBI not get involved in Diane's murder.
All right, now I'm suspicious of this police officer.
We're just suspicious of everyone.
Yeah, what do you mean they're not fucking similar?
He said that they were just coincidences.
Yeah.
That was his, like...
What a coinkydink.
Yeah. He also said that the other coworker that the roommates were suspicious of was also terrified. Like...
Oh, so it probably isn't him or her.
Yeah, like you're just kind of throwing blame around and everybody's fucking scared right now.
Yeah.
So most of the other detectives disagreed with this guy's assessment, and the chief detective on the case believes that someone who was implicated in Mary's murder was responsible for both. Like, he has an idea of who he thinks did it, but there, I guess, hasn't been enough evidence.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to prove anything, and I found an article that said that the case files were lost.
What?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens.
Fucking,
like when
right?
they lose fucking evidence.
Why does that happen more often than never?
Ugh.
That's ridiculous.
Like all the files were lost?
I don't know.
How do we know any of this? Newspapers?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of it from a newspaper.
Oh,
like
my
clippings.
gosh.
So, side note,
Yeah.
Diane's close friend from her hometown said that Diane had told her that she was working with police undercover to solve the disappearance of a woman named Mary.
What?
Yeah, she said, they want me to work with them so we can close this case. That's what Diane's friend said.
What?
Here's the thing about
Hold
that
up.
with me.
Okay, let's hear it.
She lied about the roses being anonymous.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is what I heard. Maybe she didn't, but maybe she had like a sick fascination with Mary's murder and lied about being undercover as well, just to like kind of put herself in the spotlight.
Oh, that's so weird. I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yeah. I mean,
what if she was like an undercover cop?
Well, none of the surviving detectives knows
who the fuck she is.
Yeah, they don't know of any undercover work by Diane on the case. So there's no record of it, but also they apparently lost some case files. So I don't know. It seems fucking fishy. But also she's dead, so...
But what if she was undercover and those missing case files are the ones that state she's undercover?
Yeah.
And somebody nixed her.
It could be. Well, and then
like
she
that
had the...
cop that doesn't agree with everybody else.
Who's like, that's not related. Don't look into that.
Yeah, look away.
Yeah, it could have been. Maybe she was getting too close to the truth. Well, that's what the, like, handkerchief thing or the kerchief in the throat in the blank paper, like, stay quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe she was really onto something, and they were like, nope.
What a creepy thing to do, though. Like,
Fucking
if you're,
terrifying.
Like, obsessed with a case or something, to be like, I'm going to go live her life real quick.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Which, maybe she wasn't at first. Like, maybe she just happened to get that job, and then she was like, whoa, the lady that used to work here was murdered?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I would look into that.
I would, too.
I don't think I would try to solve it. Maybe I would. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sure, like, you would naturally become friends with the people you work with and maybe become roommates just based off of, like, friendship and everything. So maybe that's not as weird.
Yeah, I agree, though.
Yeah.
Other people said that Diane had been uncharacteristically secretive in the months leading up to her murder.
Uh-huh.
And she would miss appointments and leave for hours without explanation.
From work?
I guess.
Oh, weird.
So...
she was just being shady.
Yeah, but also maybe she was working undercover.
Yeah?
And, like, didn't want anyone to know, except for her close friend from her hometown.
Yeah, that she confessed everything to.
Yeah. Or maybe the job at the bank was just cursed.
That could be a theory also. That's very plausible.
You know what? It was enough for me to write it down.
Maybe it's like a client that comes in all the time.
It could be. Yeah.
Remember working at the smoothie shop? There's creepy people all the time. Like,
oh, yeah.
Regular creepy people.
Yeah, there were regular creepy people, and they just fucking sit on that bench and, like, drink their smoothie while waiting for you to get off. And you're like, I'm not going to be off until way late. Please go home.
Never leaving here.
Yeah, I'm going to stay the night, actually.
Some people, we literally had to stand in the middle of the kiosk so they couldn't touch us.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, God, I remember that guy.
It's not a normal thing.
No, and we were, like, 16, 17.
I know.
God. So...
on that note.
Yeah, on that note... kind of like what you were talking about with the coincidences and like
friends with roomies and all that shit.
Exactly. One of the FBI profilers that was working on the cold case, he currently does not believe that the two murders were connected.
Okay.
He thinks that all the coincidences between them were more of, he called them expectancies.
Oh.
Because they lived in such a small town that it's not unlikely that they would have had the same job or known the same people or had the same roommates.
Oh, okay.
Especially if they had the same job, then, like you said, they become friends with those people, then they become roommates with those people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not unlikely that that series of events happens, and it doesn't necessarily mean that this murder is connected to that murder.
Except for the white paper.
Except for the blank piece of white paper.
Yeah.
That's...
weird.
That's really weird. Yeah.
And then the roses, whether or not they're anonymous or not. Like, if they're anonymous, if they were anonymous, then that's connected, right? If they weren't anonymous and Diana was lying about it, then there's still something fishy going on.
Yeah,
like,
it's
either
weird.
way you put it,
yeah,
I feel like it's got to be the same person.
I don't know. I think it's very possible that it's the same person, but also we didn't find the body of Mary, so we don't know, like, if they died in the same manner or anything like that.
Yeah. Or maybe it's somebody fucking around and, like, you know, go to this place for the ransom and there's a white paper on the bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't anybody who actually knew anything that was going on with Mary. Maybe they just did it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they assumed after with the ransom thing, because nothing ever came of it. Like, they never heard from that person again or anything. But also, then, why would there be a blank piece of paper in Diane's throat?
Well, maybe then he went and, like, murdered Diane.
That one, the ransom person?
Yeah.
Like, a totally different person that was, like, he was just crazy and trying to get involved in a different murder, and then he's like, you know what, I'm going to kill someone else.
Story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, it'd be fucking weird, but we've read weirder.
That's true. So the same FBI profiler also said that about the people saying that Diane was secretive leading up to the murder, that people looking back on the behavior after a murder are always going to find something.
Yeah, something that's suspicious or stands out. Or...
Yeah, he's like, you know, you might have seen that person on the phone and maybe they, like, whispered something and you didn't think anything of it. But then after, if they're murdered, you're like, oh, well, they were being secretive. They were whispering on the phone. Yeah. Maybe they're just being quiet because they're in a library. Or, like...
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like he's being awfully dismissive of a lot of, like, similarities.
Yeah, that's true. But he didn't put much credence to the secretiveness
so he doesn't
either.
Think they're connected.
No. And to this day, neither murder has been solved.
Son of a bitch, we both did 2 unsolved murders.
Yep, you're welcome.
For that not very satisfying ending to both.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, though?
Well, I still think it's interesting that we're considering Mary murdered when we never found a body.
There was blood.
Yeah.
She was
but
at
not
least
enough
kidnapped.
to indicate.
Maybe she took off. Maybe she got a nosebleed and was like, you know what? Fuck Roy.
This town.
He's out of town. I'm out of here. I'm not going to take my car, though.
And somebody took it. And
somebody took it and then brought it back to the parking lot.
And she was like, fuck underwear. I'm going to take all my underwear off.
Yeah, but keep on my regular clothes. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's some foul play there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very willing to do that.
No. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you'd get a good outcome from that shit.
No.
Well, god damn.
Yeah. God damn.
Interesting.
So... that's been racking my brain for a couple days now because I don't fucking get it.
I don't either. I'm kind of weirded out by Diane's, like, possible obsession by this.
I am too. And what I saw, it didn't seem like anyone else was, like, weirded out by it. Everyone else is, like, to me, I don't like it.
Yeah. Well,
whether or not she knew about it before she took the job, just the lying about the roses and then the working undercover.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if the police and stuff don't have any record of her working undercover, but she tells someone that she's working undercover, that coupled with the anonymous roses thing that weren't actually anonymous makes me like
suspicious of her. Enough red flags to make you think like what's going on.
Not to say that she would have been responsible for Mary's murder or anything, but like why are you inserting yourself in this investigation?
Yeah, there's some piece we're missing.
Yeah. I don't know. It weirds me out.
Other than the only shitty thing is like she ended up dead.
Yeah, that's one of the shitty things. The other shitty thing is that Mary ended up dead.
Yeah.
They both end up dead. No, that's a really shitty thing. Obviously, that's not planned for or anything, but, like, I don't know.
But if she was, like, an undercover cop and everything, you'd think that they'd have, like, more people on her back.
Yeah.
As opposed to her just being, like, an obsessed person.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
I don't know. I guess if we were to wind up murdered by someone who we've also covered, they'd be like, well, why were they so obsessed with that?
That's true. Like, yeah, I was going to say that earlier. Like, we're looking at this with, like, the whole picture.
Yeah.
So we can speculate differently than, like, maybe Diane.
Yeah.
In the moment. Like, we're looking back and we're like, how weird. You got the same job. You became the same friends. You got the same roommates. You got the same flowers.
Well, I'm willing to accept that the job and the roommates and friends are coincidences.
Yeah.
And I'm not at all, like, trying to blame anything on her, because she's dead. There's no blame there. Someone else needs to be blamed for that.
Yeah.
I just think it's not common. I don't know. It's weird to me to, like,
there's
try
something
and insert
there's
yourself
something different
more.
And weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, she didn't work at the bank when she was murdered. She worked as a secretary somewhere else.
Huh.
She just had that job previously.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't, like, snag onto it anyway.
Yeah.
It stick in my brain.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's likely that it's just a coincidence that the friends and everybody, all the job and the friends and all that. But it's hard to not link them because of those coincidences.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Also, with the roses, I was going to say, maybe when she got them, that someone was like, whoa, Mary got roses. And she was like, yeah, they're anonymous. Like a joke kind of thing. Like, you know.
And then it got taken out of context.
Yeah. That's another thing that I thought maybe she didn't actually, like, lie about it, but she was just like, yeah, they're anonymous too. Huh? Crazy, right? But, like, she knew that they're not. I don't know. Something
but what
like
incentive would the friend have to lie about, like, oh, she said she was, like, undercover?
I don't know.
Other than maybe, like, her friend is kind of like, you know, the nosy Nelly.
Yeah.
Where you associate yourself too closely to something, like you were saying, to make it real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Shit's insane.
That shit's real insane.
Yeah. That was 50-something years ago, so.
So we're probably never going to know the answer.
Yeah, this person's probably either dead or in jail for something else, hopefully.
Yep, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man. Goddamn.
Goddamn.
On that note, we do have a lovely goddamn from a listener.
We do?
Shall we play it?
We shall.
Let's do it. Okay, this one's from Sarah.
What up, Sarah?
Woo woo.
I said goddamn.
Oh my god. First of all, she's whispering.
Yeah, she is.
And I love it. Second
Oh my
of all,
gosh.
she's creepy. You nailed
So
it, Sarah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love these things.
That's funny. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. We love you.
Yeah, we do.
So if anybody else wants to send us their goddams, send them in through email at isgdpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
You can even just, like, write a little note about your goddamn story, some shit that went down.
Yeah, we'll share that shit too.
Hell yeah, we're about that.
You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ISGD Podcast.
Yeah, you can.
You can snail mail us at P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
You can go on our website and see pictures relating to these cases at isgdpodcast.com. And also, you can go there to check out some of our merchandise and link to our Patreon page. Which, fun fact, one of our Twitter followers, Corinne, she actually reached out to us and was like, yo, I can't find you guys on fucking Patreon. When I type you in, it doesn't pop up. And I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And so I contacted Patreon, and they were like, oh, it's because you're labeled as explicit material or, like, not safe for work. So we don't want people to be able to search you and accidentally stumble upon your content.
For our family-friendly site.
Yeah, what the fuck is that shit?
Which I've looked into all the other ones, and, like, Joe Rogan, you can find. He does, like, fucking DMT on
Really?
Yeah.
We should challenge that. I guess you're allowed to challenge it, so
yeah.
I'll look into that sometime this week. Or when I'm on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. But anyway, so to reach our Patreon, you have to go through the direct link through our site. And then in the meantime, I'll throw a little bitch fit to Patreon and try to fix it.
Yeah, we'll try and challenge that shit.
Yeah. For everybody who's already donated, you guys are amazing, and we love you, and thank you so much.
Yes, you are.
And sorry it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, who knew?
Fuck.
Speaking of Patreon, we've got a new episode coming out, I believe, next week, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so get on that if you want some extra content.
That's right.
Otherwise, deuces.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And if you're all caught up on our podcast, stay tuned for a promo from Spellcast.
Hello, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Andre L.
And we're the hosts of Spellcast,
a podcast that seeks to bridge the gap between the mundane and the occult.
Join us every Friday night for a new episode.
We cover everything from candle magic to Kabbalah.
You can follow us at Witchy Page on Instagram and Facebook, and also email us at witchypage@gmail.com.
We hope you enjoy the show.
If you really like the show, you can donate on Anchor.fm and soon Patreon. All of our supporters get special perks and extra content, so join our coven.
And remember,
there's a little witch in all of us.
And the spirits live in the mirror.